Have you ever wondered why people could risk their life just to mine gold? Of course, the answer is obvious. It's one of the precious stones we have. You could imagine how valuable 1 ounce of gold is, or 1 kilogram of gold is. Yeah, that is how valuable that piece of stone can be. Okay, now the good thing is that you can actually mine gold without risking your life. Yeah, don't get too excited. You might not be risking your life, but there's something else you'd have to risk instead. Your account. Yeah, sorry to bust your bubble. You could gold is one thing in trading that can make you overnight, but the downside is it can actually send you back to your village overnight. Yeah, that is how volatile gold can be. Okay, so if there's any pair you want to use to like make the money fast, think of gold. But as you're trying to trade gold, make sure that you have the proper risk management and the right psychology for it. Otherwise, well, I remain Ikene Matthew, and welcome to Martel Trades. Welcome back. Today I'll be showing you one trade that got me 1,000 pips, but it was a risky one. Yeah, it was quite a risk, but yeah, it went my way anyway. And yeah, so without wasting any much time, let me take you to the chart and show you what I saw before taking the trade and how I went on to smash that profit. So let's get right in. Okay, so on Tuesday I took a trade. Here is the trade here. You can see that it went my way, hit my TP and went straight down. Let me show you how I went about this trade. Now, just as you can see on a higher time frame, we're still in an uptrend. Okay, and yeah, in my previous video, I made mention of, if trade should break this level and rallies down, then it will turn bearish. And but it didn't do that. Okay, it got rejected from this demand zone. Yeah, yeah, it was just a little tap and it went back up. So we have our range here. Then we still actually in the range. We have this big external range here. We have this external range here. Then we have this internal range of the higher the far time frame. If we should go to the lower time frame, 15 minutes time frame, this was the range for the external structure. And this was the range for the internal structure. Okay, so this was on Wednesday. Yeah, it was a missed trade. So as of Tuesday, I drew out this my supply zone, and you can see the rejection that we had from that far demand zone. So at this point, we can call this a valid change of character. Okay, because price was rallying down. As at this point, you can see, and this was the lower low. After this low, this was the low that we had. If you to study the market structure right here, you see that this point caused a break of structure. And so this was a valid point and a strong area. So we're looking at, I anticipated that since gold has hit this level, for it to come down to this point and go rejected, it means we should be looking for uh, buy opportunities. So I waited, and when this long momentum candle happened, I saw my change of character. I went down to my lower time frame, which was 5 minutes. If you look at this, you see that yes, we have a valid change of character here. Very valid change of character. And then what should we be looking for after this happened? I had to then look for a demand zone after this, a demand zone that caused a break of structure, and that is what happened here. Okay, so this was mitigated already. Okay, sorry, this happened on Monday. This movement happened on Monday. So on Tuesday I was then I missed this move on Monday. So on Tuesday I was kind of like stationed to see if I could get a move, and that was when I saw this happen. Okay, mark out this demand zone here, then went to my 1 minute time frame. So at this point, what then should we be looking for? We see that on the 1 minute time frame, we will then have been a downtrend. So we're having a downtrend on the 1 minute time frame. Then I had to sit back and wait for price to come back to this demand zone. Remember, it has been mitigated once. So there is a good opportunity that if price should come back to this demand zone, we might have to it will have to reverse. But unfortunately, that wasn't what happened exactly, but eventually it did. But it didn't happen exactly on the demand zone. It broke the demand zone and before going up. So on my 1 hour time, on my 1 minute time frame, I saw this happen. Okay, at this point, after this, our lower high that led to this lower low, we had a change of character. Okay, yeah, right here we had a change of character, because at this point this low couldn't break the previous low, hence we had a fail swing and it moved to the upside, hence breaking structure, causing a market structure shift. So what do I do? What's that that demand zone that caused this change of character? I marked it out, which was this one, this demand zone. Okay, so I marked out this demand zone and boom, waited for it. Okay, another thing I do when I'm trying to place trade, especially if I do not have, if my demand or supply zone isn't clear enough for me, okay, if it's not that visible, what I do is at that point I take my Fibonacci tool and I draw. Okay, I draw, and most of the time I like my entry to be at the 79%. Yeah, I mostly do like my entry to be at the 79% level, and as you can see, that was the area at which I placed my limit order. Okay, after I got my confirmation, okay, good, my 79% level is coinciding with my demand zone. It was a good confluence for me. Then I set my limit order, and targeted this fair value gap right here, as you can see. Yeah, so let me expand it so you can see clearly. There's a fair value gap here, and that was what I targeted. I saw that there's a high chance that price was going to like come and fill this gap and then probably go down. That was exactly what it did anyway. So I set my TP here, and then we have a risk reward ratio of 2.5. That is 1 to 2.5. So, and if you check well, you see right here, and this is one thing that is not uniform amongst traders. Okay, some people will tell you this is 100 pips, some people will tell you no, this is on 1000 pips. Yes, I go with the 1000 pips, gangs. Okay, because gold is different from your normal currency pairs. Right, the way you measure gold and all these commodities is quite different from the way you measure the pips on your currency pairs. And it's even a good thing that your position 2 on your trading view on your charting platform even does the calculation for you, and so you can see. So the way these things, the pips, are measured are quite different. What you might ordinarily call 100 pips on GBP USD or any other currency pairs, it's 1000 pips on gold. Okay, that aside, so price came down and took me in to the trade, and yep, came down a little bit and then rallied right up, and right there after hitting my TP, we had this strong move to the downside. I wasn't even on my chart when this happened, so I was like, wow. You see why one of the thing you can do for yourself in trading is just bury the greed. You don't need it. You know, just imagine that, okay, I'm looking at, oh, I want to make it big on this, and I just kind of like took this here and say, oh, because this is a supply zone here on the 1 minute, right? Because this is a supply zone here on the 1 minute, then yeah, I should target here. Come on. Of course, this one would be like 1600 pips. See, it would have knocked me out of the trade. So, but as you said, the 1000 was just seemed reasonable, and yeah. So that's just how I just easily got that 1000 pip move. I believe when I get a profit, I might actually just trade only gold. Yeah, because with gold, believe me, you can easily pass programs. Okay, so this could have been a fine trade. It could have given me another 1000 pips, but I missed it. Then I was then patient enough to start looking for another one, an opportunity. I was looking for an opportunity to get in again. Then I saw this on this 5 minutes time frame. I mapped out my supply zone. Okay, marked out my supply zone. Then was waiting, and if you look closely, you'd see that there is this 5 minutes range that happened here, from here to here. Okay, you can see our 5 minutes range. Not this. Now you can see this range that happened. Then within this range, I had this supply zone right here. If I should use my Fibonacci just for confirmation, for confluence, I mark out the range with my Fibonacci. What do we have? At that 79, just like I said, I like this 79%, but I don't know why I rather went for, usually I prioritize my demand and supply zone over every other thing that I use. Right, this is supposed to be, my Fibonacci 2 is supposed to be more like a means of confirmation, just like my liquidity and fair value gap. This demand zone, you can see it has a fair value gap. The confirmation was there. You can see the confirmation was right there. Okay, I just neglected it and just went on with just with the Fibonacci. That is my OTE zone, which it didn't even overlap with my supply zone. So I would say on this part I did go against my rule, because my rule is just demand zone and supply zones. All the other things are just for confirmations. Okay, I believe I let fear get in the way of this trade. Yeah, I let fear get in the way because I was kind of like scared that what if price shoots up higher? Because initially it was right here, that right at the top of this supply zone I wanted to place the trade. Okay, and as you can see, it was exactly at the 62. And one thing I've noticed with gold is gold seems to respect more the 62% than any other level. Okay, it hasn't, if gold should go, it really goes down to the 79%. It really goes down to it respects more the 62% than any other zone in the Fibonacci 2. So that's happened, and as you can see, I missed the trade. So it was another 1,000 people that I would have gotten, but I missed it. And fast forward to yesterday, I had a loss. It was a massive and the one crazy thing is that price smashed my stop loss and stopped me out above my own stop loss. Like, this was 400 pips stop loss, but it stopped me at 500 and something stop loss. This was my record. This was my trade on GBP USD. Then this was the one I made profit in, and this was the loss I made yesterday on gold as well. So you can see $10.96. Imagine what you would have gotten if you're using one standard lot size. This is a massive $1,000 under how many minutes? This was just in less than an hour. Okay, 1,000 pips in less than an hour. So you see why it's one pair that can easily make you and one pair that can take you away. And see, 500 plus pips in less than an hour. So if it can take out 500 pips in less than an hour, it can also do the same thing in less. It can also take out 1,000 pips in less than an hour. So that's just it. This was my record. Right, so far this week I've only taken 3 trades, 1, 2 long, short, and they were win and loss. So that's just it. Okay, all right. Now, that being said, I believe by now you should see, how gold can easily give you 1,000 pips. Like, you don't need any other pair. I'm not saying you should just run off to start trading gold. Okay, like I said earlier, you need the right psychology for this and the proper risk management, because gold moves wild. Okay, gold moves wild. Like, you saw the trade where I got the 1,000 pips. You saw that I immediately took my TP. It immediately rallied down and hit to my stop loss. It didn't hit my stop loss though. So that is how wide gold can be. Okay, it moves very fast. So please do well to like, drop a comment, share this video, and if you haven't subscribed, please, I beg you, subscribe, and let's get the algorithm excited to grow this channel. All right, till next time, bye.